Hi friends. So today I got really sick for some reason to the point where I had to go to the hospital, but the doctors would not let me in because I used this terrible team with this terrible mon. So when I made this team, I didn't know what I was thinking. I was basically thinking that what I can do for my YouTube channel actually is to just make a bunch of random teams that are terrible with really clickbaity Pokemon, and I'll get a bajillion views, and on the way, I can win a few games and climb the bo3 ladder. Because, of course, the best way to get clips for really niche team is the best of 3 format. So spoiler alert, I went from having 1400 elo to 1200 trying to make this fucking team work. God damn it. Hey, at least I will get a bajillion views, right? So the concept of this team is really simple. It's gonna be revolving around this move right here, Gravity. Gravity is one of the best terrible moves ever. It means that every Pokemon is now on the ground for 5 turns and all moves are much more accurate for some reason, which is really good. This move is amazing in stuff like draft. Not really in actual competitive, but hey, it could catch some people off guard. And the concept is that this thing uses gravity really well because it has this stupid ability here that gives it basically a choice ban at the cost of making its move super inaccurate. And with these buttons, especially this one, this move gets an even bigger boost if gravity is up, meaning that this thing with Hustle and in gravity can turn Grab Apple into a Gigaton nuke, which is really funny. This button can one-shot stuff like Bulky Floette and Pelipper and Swampert 4 times over. 5 times if you, for some reason, use the fucking life orb. But yeah, it's kinda just a clickbaity mon, because most of the time gravity wouldn't be up because this fucking Pokemon is terrible. Like, this thing has the body of a toddler. I think my little shut brother would be able to 1v1 this thing. I'm not kidding. It's so terrible. And this guy has actual stats, but it's just so awkward, dude. Like, this thing cannot be fast, nor can it be slow. It's so weird. And if I want to make this thing work, I kind of have to bring this guy. So I'm basically bringing an apple and a diseased child into a battle with Charizard Y and Garchomp, which is gonna end very well for me, always. So the real reason to use this team, I think, is this thing. This Pokemon is one of those things that you don't really see that much on the ladder or get discussed too much, but I think it's incredible. Shout out to Seren for making me actually think about Mudsdale, but this thing is kind of crazy. This thing is basically the king of Trick Room, super fucking bulky. It has a huge homuncle base attack with inner focus, meaning that it cannot be flinched, and intimidated, meaning that Incineroar is kind of its bitch. Inside Trick Room with Life Orb, this thing can one-shot King Gambit with max HP. Incineroar can one-shot Floette, even though Floette is super heavy. And Rock Tomb is just a really consistent button to click against Zard teams because they often run stuff that are like White Card and shit, and which is really cool. I'm mostly just gonna click this button though, and it does so much damage. I like this thing a lot. I'm gonna be using this thing more in actual competitive and potentially draft. But the thing that really glue this team together and the Pokemon that make this fucking Pokemon worth using is this gal right here. Delphox Mega is a really solid Pokemon in of itself, but Hypnosis kinda just makes it a huge asshole. Basically, it's kind of like Spore if gravity is up, except grass types are also affected. And even if you're grass type, you kind of don't want to face this thing at all. This thing, this button right here lets me 1v1 stuff like Card Chomp and Basque Legion, which is really funny. Like, it's just such an annoying button. It's so fucking annoying. And if I have a slot for a better Pokemon than fucking Flapple, then I think this team would be able to capitalize on this really well. But of course, there's no reason to use Gravity if you don't use Mr. Flapple right here. Oranguru is kind of the best of 1 master. Like, yes, I'm using this thing in best of 3, but in best of 1, this Pokemon is kind of crazy. Mental Herb means no taunt or encore, which is nice. Inner Focus, so no fake out. And this thing has ridiculous bulk. Like, look at this thing. You don't even need berries most of the time to be able to survive shit like Black Glasses King Gambit, which is nuts. Scrafty is just a really good Pokemon. Like, Fake Out, Close Combat, Knockoff, and Double Intimidate is just kinda all you need to succeed in competitive. It's kinda just too bad that this thing has to fucking compete with the king himself. If the king isn't the king, then this thing I think would be very, very meta. It's really good. So as I said, I climbed with this team for like an hour straight, hoping to get some content. And the only content I got was me losing 5 times, again and again and again. And this is one of those situations. But at least I think this replay is really funny. So I'm facing this guy in the like the 1100s. As you can see, I'm in the 1200s here. And this is a really scary kind of Blastoise team. This guy definitely is only going to use Blastoise, and I kid you not, Serena is the worst matchup for this team ever because it does good into Mudsdale and Flapple because of Triple Axel, and I've faced. Hey, post-recording me here. For some reason, I literally spent 20 seconds just yapping at nothing. I'm an actual moron. I don't understand myself. What's happening right now? I don't understand why this thing is popping up, but it is popping up, which is so annoying. Like, I cannot make use of this thing at all. It just always dies. God damn it. But yeah, let's move on to the actual fucking video. How about that? How about we actually watch the match? Okay, so as you can see, they just led with Serena and Blastoise. At this point, I really can't do anything. And I try to Gravity and get this thing to be pressured. And of course, this means Flapple is gonna be sacked to the gods. Now Delphox can come in because Gravity is up. I can realistically go for Hypnosis. A double protect would be pretty funny here, but it's fine. Nightshade does no damage to the normal type, which is kinda sad. Hypnosis again. I think it would have been better if I literally just attacked, although Population Bomb would have been bad. Psyshock dealing solid damage, and this thing just fucking woke up and Shell Smash for some reason. Like, bro, why don't you just attack? And now Aerodactyl comes in, which threatens my Delphox a bit, but I managed to put this thing to sleep. But it doesn't fucking matter because the family is here. 1, 2, of course it's gonna hit everything because Gravity is helping. Nice. Nightshade dealing 32%, let's go. So Mudsdale is kinda just pressured to do literally anything right now. And at this point, I just know that it's over because this Seiwai is completely useless against this thing. Follow Me is gonna kill me, and Power Whip is very accurate because it's White Lens. Nice. So I think my biggest mistake in game 1 is letting Flapple die immediately. If Flapple survived, then I am confident that it would die later in the game. So let's go to game 2 here. For some reason, I grinded this team in best of 3. I really shouldn't do that. So I adjusted a little bit with... They didn't adjust at all because of course they didn't. with Oranguru and Flapple, basically saying that are you willing to risk it all? As if you remember, this thing is a bold max defense and it still lives this shit, which is crazy. And I gambled and I got paid off, which is really funny. Psychic to break the shash, and this thing's gonna try to triple X-Toll my Flapple, which is totally fine. Going to Scrafty is basically just a desperate attempt to, as I said, save the apple, because it's going to die later in the game, which is important. So now this thing is trend, and Scrafty kinda just can't do anything, but I want to remove the white lens for the end game. Encore is mostly to as a hedge against like this little dude who just protected, and now that I can bring this little guy in, there's nothing that they can really do as I kill the Mousehole / Serena, and Outrage misses because of course it did. Dual Wing Beat dealing basically nothing to Scrafty, even through -1 because it's just a gold. Rock Slide not enough to kill this, and Flapple fucking flinched. Doesn't matter really because it dies anyway, but Scrafty locked the fuck in and killed this. And now with the 2v1, Mudsdale comes in and just seals the game. I agree, me. Like, that's so ass. That's the worst game I've ever played. I really wish I could come back and play some Protect the Queen Floette or Sun Rain and actually start winning and feel good about myself. So this is game 3. Basically, I'm not gonna change my plans at all because it worked out. So I'm just gonna gamble again. So it's Blastoise and Aerodactyl this time. As you can see, I didn't change my strategy at all. I predicted Rock Slide and Dark Pulse, and I guess I was correct. Was I correct? I was. Let's go. And this way I can Dragon Dance and gamble as always. Fake Out is stopped by the Queenly Majesty, which is kinda bad. Tailwind is kinda cringe, but I double Dragon Dance, you piece of shit. Fuck you. Dual Wing Beat goes into Scrafty. I fully expected an attack into Flapple, but they just had the balls to attack my Scrafty, and it didn't fucking matter because Scrafty is the best Pokemon in the game. Switching to Oranguru is basically just a hedge, hoping that it would hit the Serena, which it did, which is pretty good, and now Blastoise comes in. Flapple now can protect, and Oranguru can kinda just do anything it wants. Water Spout does huge damage, but of course it survives, and now I encore it into a terrible move that I wouldn't want to click later. Wrath Apple kills this motherfucker, and Dual Wing Beat finally finishes off this guy, but I can Trick Room, and now Mudsdales can come in. And here in this position, this guy protects, and this Blastoise comes in very safely. I did Psychic as a hedge, but kinda doesn't matter because now we're in some danger here because this thing can follow me, and unless I crit with Oranguru, this thing is gonna be able to fire up a huge Water Spout. The only way for me to come back to this game, even though I have the fucking lead, is to instruct High Horsepower lands this, and High Horsepower lands this again. Let's go, baby. First one landed, this Mousehole is dead. Second one landed. Fucking 65% to Blastoise, baby. Took nothing from Water Spout, and the game is over. So yeah, that's a pretty good replay. Jesus fucking Christ, this team sucks.